Our story begins in the pastoral fields of Canaan, where Jacob lived with his 12 sons. Among them, Joseph, the second youngest, held a special place in his father's heart. This favoritism was made manifest in a bright, colorful coat, a gift from Jacob to Joseph. This coat, vibrant as a rainbow after a summer rain, was more than just a garment. It was a symbol of affection, a beacon of Joseph's unique position within the family. Yet it was not only his father's favor that set Joseph apart. He was a dreamer, one who saw visions that held the echoes of the future. In one dream, sheaves of grain bowed down to his sheaf. In another, the sun, the moon, and 11 stars bowed to him. These dreams puzzled his family, stirring a cocktail of emotions from wonderment to jealousy. Little did they know, these dreams were a foreshadowing of events to come. A cloak of jealousy had fallen on Joseph's brothers. Their envy was a storm brewing in the heart of their brotherhood, fueled by Joseph's dreams of future dominance. In a moment of heated resentment, they plotted against their own kin, their own blood. They stripped Joseph of his colorful coat, the symbol of their father's favoritism, and sold him into the hands of passing traders. With their pockets filled with pieces of silver, they smeared Joseph's coat with goat's blood, a cruel ruse to deceive their father Jacob. Their hearts heavy with their dark secret, they returned to their father, presenting the blood-stained coat as evidence of a wild beast's feast. Meanwhile, Joseph, the dreamer, was carried away, far from his homeland and into the land of Egypt. In the land of pyramids and pharaohs, Joseph's real journey was about to begin. In Egypt, Joseph found himself in the house of Potiphar. This was no ordinary house, mind you. Potiphar was the captain of the pharaoh's guard, a man of considerable influence. Joseph, though a slave, did not let his spirit falter. With determination, he poured his soul into his work, proving himself as a diligent and trustworthy servant. His efforts did not go unnoticed. Potiphar saw Joseph's value and rewarded him accordingly. Joseph climbed the ranks, eventually becoming the head servant of the household. It was a position of responsibility and trust, a testament to Joseph's character and hard work. But Joseph's rise was not due solely to his efforts. Above all, it was God's favor that sustained him. Even in a foreign land, God was with Joseph, guiding his steps and blessing his work. Despite his circumstances, Joseph thrived. But as Joseph's status rose, so did the trials he faced. A false accusation landed Joseph in prison, but even in this bleak circumstance, Joseph's faith never wavered. God's favor continued to rest on him, and he soon found favor with the prison warden, rising to a position of responsibility once more. Among his fellow inmates were 2 high-ranking officials from Pharaoh's court, a baker and a cupbearer, both troubled by dreams they couldn't understand. Recognizing this as an opportunity, Joseph stepped in to interpret their unsettling dreams. The interpretations were precise. The cupbearer would be restored to his position, while the baker would meet an unfortunate end. And as Joseph predicted, so it came to pass. This event marked a turning point in Joseph's life. His reputation as a dream interpreter began to grow, even behind the prison walls. Little did he know, this special ability was about to open doors he could only dream of. Joseph's gift of interpretation was about to change his life forever. Pharaoh had a dream, and only one man could interpret it. In the heart of the ancient world, the ruler of Egypt was haunted by dreams. His sleep was disrupted by visions of 7 healthy cows being devoured by 7 gaunt ones, and 7 robust ears of grain swallowed by 7 withered ones. His court magicians and wise men were at a loss, unable to decipher the troubling dreams. Then a memory stirred in the cupbearer's mind. He recalled a Hebrew slave who had accurately interpreted his dream in prison. Without delay, he shared this with Pharaoh, who promptly summoned Joseph from the dungeon. Introduced before the Pharaoh, Joseph stood not as a slave, but as a man with a divine gift. With humility and assurance, Joseph listened to Pharaoh's dreams. He explained that the dreams were God's warning of what was to come, 7 years of abundance followed by 7 years of severe famine. The healthy cows and robust grain represented prosperous years, while the gaunt cows and withered grain signified years of famine that would consume all previous prosperity. Joseph didn't stop at interpretation. He advised Pharaoh to appoint a discerning and wise man to oversee the land of Egypt during the 7 years of abundance. This person would store up grain and prepare for the famine, ensuring the survival of Egypt and its people. Impressed by his wisdom and confident in his interpretation, Pharaoh did something extraordinary. He appointed Joseph as vizier, the second most powerful position in all of Egypt. A Hebrew slave rose to be the right hand of Pharaoh, responsible for the survival of an empire. Joseph, who had once been betrayed by his brothers, sold into slavery, falsely accused and imprisoned, was now the architect of Egypt's salvation. His dreams, which had once provoked mockery and hate, were now the cornerstone of his rise to power. Joseph, the dreamer, was now the second most powerful man in Egypt. A severe famine led Joseph's brothers to Egypt, searching for grain. The hunger that gnawed at their bellies mirrored the guilt that gnawed at their hearts. The brothers, unaware that the powerful man before them was their lost Joseph, found themselves in a series of trials. The trials, devised by Joseph, were not out of spite, but to test their character, to see if they had changed since that fateful day they sold him into slavery. Each test revealed a layer of remorse and a glimmer of nobility. The brothers, once consumed by jealousy, were now guided by loyalty and love. When their youngest brother Benjamin was accused of theft, they did not abandon him. Instead, they stood by him, willing to bear the punishment in his stead. In that moment, Joseph's dreams had come full circle. His brothers, once filled with jealousy, were now bowing before him. The dreamer had become the deliverer, and the path to reconciliation was finally open. With his family in Egypt, Joseph's journey had come to a fruitful end. As the twilight years approached for Jacob, he bestowed blessings upon his sons, reserving a special one for Joseph, the son of his old age. He likened Joseph to a fruitful vine, a poignant symbol of his journey from dreamer to deliverer. Joseph, now a wise and seasoned ruler, never allowed his power to cloud his heart. He reassured his brothers, those who had once betrayed him, of his unwavering forgiveness. He spoke of their actions not as a betrayal but as a divine plan, declaring, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good." As Joseph breathed his last, he remained a man of faith, echoing the dreams of his youth. He spoke of a future exodus, expressing his faith in God's promise to his ancestors. "God will surely come to your aid, and then you must carry my bones up from this place." Joseph's life serves as a testament to the power of dreams, forgiveness, and God's providence, reminding us that even in our darkest hours, we are never alone. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like, and leave a comment to see more content like this.